Since the NFL draft is over, we're going to be ranking the rookie running backs for Dynasty Fantasy Football purposes. We're going to set you straight for your rookie drafts. We're going to talk strategy. We're going to talk player value. Before we do all that, you need to click that subscribe button right now because we're covering these rookies. We're covering how they fit on their team. We're covering their values. We're covering where they should go, strategizing the rookie drafts. We're covering the coach speak and everything else. A lot of information here. Click that button. Stop missing out. But I do my rankings different. We're going to look at these running backs as asset classes, rank them among the asset class, and then talk about them. And this is in tiers. So when it's in tiers, this is also set up for people who play in portfolios. So if they're in 100 leagues, they can diversify in the tier. They can move their tiers around. This is used as a gauge. If you use me straight up as a tool, as your only tool, you're going to miss some. And if you do that with everybody else, you're going to miss some. Use this as a guideline for your decisions. But we're going to start things off with these tiers here. The top guys are the top running backs in the draft. They're going high in rookie drafts. We're going to talk about their value. We're going to talk about their rank. Wide receiver litmus test upside. That sounds weird, but those are the running backs who are going in the back half of the first round, early second, mid-second, but they are testing those wide receivers who are around those tiers, whether or not you'll draft those wide receivers after them or before them, or how you're going to pivot, turn and burn, backup running backs with the upside that when they start seeing some value, it's time to burn on the trade market or enjoy the production for a little bit, but you know the time is coming to capture that peak upside on the trade value. Flyers alike, just flyers. I think that makes sense. I hope I don't have to explain that. But we're going to be talking about the running backs in the top guy tier. The top guy tier, the top running backs in the class. They're getting drafted high, ADP, yada, yada, yada. First guy coming off the board that we're going to talk about, Trey Benson. He's a top guy in this class. Got good size, adjust athleticism. He's in a great situation. James Conner is not going to be holding it down for much longer. The injury issues crop up every year. He's going to be getting opportunities sooner than later. We all know that. He's in an offense where he's not going to see a lot in the box because Marvin Harrison Jr. is going to be up there. He's going to be commanding 25 to 30% target share. Generational talent. You got Kyler Murray there just running around with his eyes closed. Trey Benson is in a grand situation. Look at him in the first round. And then also Jonathan Brooks is a top guy. These are two top guys here that we're looking at. Jonathan Brooks coming back from an ACL injury. A lot of people are scared of that. People are scared of the ACL injury. That makes sense. That makes a lot of sense. But Jonathan Brooks, he's very dynamic. He's quick between the tackles. They're going to use him a lot in the passing game. You know that, right? He's going to be getting a lot of work in the passing game. 60, 70, 80 targets. Once he's fully rolling, used as the main squeeze in the backfield. They also want to use one running back heavy and sprinkle in other running backs instead of having a big split. Have you noticed that? They spent second round draft capital. They got these jabroni running backs that they inherited that they're going to use as a buffer until Jonathan Brooks gets ready. If you read the tea leaves here, you look at Canales here at Tampa Bay, throwing it to the running back. Look at Canales at his history at Seattle, wide receiver coach, quarterback coach. He wants to throw the football. He wants to cook. He wants to prove he can cook just like Russell Wilson. This is his opportunity. He's got his guy here at the running back position. He's going to be getting opportunity to burn, and he's got the upside to do it. He's got the skill set. Between the two, I flip coins. I think the other day I did say I like Trey Benson. I'm moving back to Jonathan Brooks. Honestly, I flip coins, and that's how I am. I'm a flipper flopper. I'm also diversifying my portfolio. I like Trey Benson a lot. That's why. I like Trey Benson a lot. If that catches you off the edge, whether or not to go Trey Benson over Jonathan Brooks, then cool. Cool. That's why I'm here. I'm here to give you ideas, not to be an absolute. Wide receiver, litmus test wide receiver. I want to start with Blake Corum. He's almost with the top guys. I think I had him here the first set of rankings, but that was right after the draft. This is a little bit more thought out. And I'll do this again probably about a week or so when I think about these rookies a little bit more. A wide receiver litmus test, late first, early second, for those wide receivers who got highly drafted, who are on the fringe. I'm talking like those Ricky Pearsalls, those guys drafted in the early second round that you're seeing going early in the second round of rookie drafts, late first. that you're wondering about. The Lad McConkeys. You're pushing and shoving with those wide receivers who are draft capital dandies that you're speculative with. Blake Corum's that guy. Kyren Williams is there. He's going to give a little heat in the start of his career. Kyren Williams ain't going to be the guy forever, but Blake Corum's got some goods to his game. He was productive at Michigan, especially 2 years ago. He's very dependable. The team likes him. They spin up to get him. He's going to have some upside. He's going to be used this year. He's going to get opportunity this year. 2025 might be his backfield. 2026 might be his backfield. Could be at the end of the season. We've seen Kyren Williams get hurt before. He's got an injury history. Blake Corum could be a running back that you can get and you want to play the values with. Next, another running back with upside that's a wide receiver litmus test is Jalen Wright. Jalen Wright's ADP, or where he's going in rookie drafts and mock drafts, is all over the place. Late first round, middle second round. Really depends on who likes him. But again, you're playing with those wide receivers with him, and you're stacking your board. I want these wide receivers over him. I want these wide receivers behind him, and you're making that stand. But he's a running back in a grand situation. Like, Mostert's not going to be there forever. He's on the last leg of his career, or the last few toes of his career. He's not going to be there forever. We've seen Devin Achane get banged up multiple times last year. They need another back to help buffer, to help meat shield, to help get some touches. 4.3 speed fits well with this dynamic, has upside. And if you think of Jalen Wright, his best spot to go to would be a team like the Dolphins. This is a grand spot here. I know he's drafted in round 4, but he's also a running back that you can turn and burn with, fitting in this offense. And you just got to play the wide receivers accordingly. Get it? Get it? Wide receiver litmus test. So draft those wide receivers you like ahead of them with good draft capital that you like before them. Figure out the ones with bad draft capital, okay draft capital, or lesser talents that you're like, I don't know about, behind them. Do that. We'll have overall rankings here later this week. Hit that subscribe button so you can be on the know with those. Our next running back coming off the board, Marshawn Lloyd. In this asset class, he is a wide receiver litmus test in the back half of the second round, especially with those wide receivers with kind of iffy profiles, with lesser draft capital. A lot of people are scared of Josh Jacobs. Josh Jacobs ain't going to be healthy forever. Josh Jacobs is not. And with Marshawn Lloyd, everybody liked the profile. Everybody liked the talent. But now they're scared to speak up because they got an alpha in front of them. Alphas break down. Alphas get hurt. He's on a new contract with a new team, older running back prospect. Are we on the back nine? We don't know. Could he be getting opportunity? Possibly a little bit. Could get some trickles here this year. Could be getting some opportunity. He might be waiting. It might be a patient play. He may want to buy mid-season this year just in case. But he could get his opportunity still this year. He's got the size of just athleticism to pop. A guy that if he does get his opportunity and you're not in on the Packers or for whatever reason, then you could sell in the high. But if you're in on the Packers, you love the offense, then why not? Because he'll eventually get his opportunity one way or another, and then you can sell high. Whatever you want to do. But again, Marshawn Lloyd's got some upside here. A good profile, drafted in round 3. A good situation. He's on a good team, but he's just going to be a backup for a little bit. You just got to be patient, and you got to set your wide receiver markers around him. Turn and burn running back. So these are backups with some upside. If they start seeing some value, they're likely going to have to trade them. If not, you can't get the trade done, enjoy the production, or just enjoy the production a little bit, then trade them. Whatever you want to do. Bucky Irvin. Rachaad White's there. Rachaad White's the guy, but they love to throw it to running backs. Bucky Irvin can catch passes out of the backfield. He has some upside with that. He's good between the tackles. He can hold it down if something happens to the incumbent. That being said, will catch some fantasy value if given the opportunity. Braylon Allen, I think the odds are kind of against him, but he's a bigger running back prospect that if given the opportunity could flash. He does have a market of people that like him, so if he starts flashing a little bit, you could sell him. Will Shipley would be a big-time sell, especially if Saquon Barkley goes down for like 4 games. You could probably catch a decent pick for him, get a return on investment. Or during that time, since he's on the Eagles, we're going to get some fire lit under him with that offense. You can enjoy the production, probably some RB1 weeks, RB2 weeks, whatever's going to happen if he's seeing the field. And then we got Ray Davis. I like him a lot. I think he's going to be a great fit for this offense. There was a lot of times last year where James Cook was getting it done in the passing game, and they went to those other running backs, and it didn't happen. They wanted to use another running back so bad. Latavius Murray not getting it done. We had to ghost to Leonard Fournette just walking around the sidelines. That was happening. They wanted another running back so bad. That's what they were telling us with this Leonard Fournette ghost walking around. They wanted another running back. Here he is. He's good between the tackles. He's very dependable. Really needs to be moved up. I have to rank this tier, so it's more like kind of like that. But still, the ghost of Leonard Fournette made it so Ray Davis can walk. So you may want to pay attention to him. You draft him, and I look at him as a back. You enjoy the production a little bit, but there's going to be a time where you're just going to have to trade him away, and you have to time the market accordingly. That's how that's going to work. Next is the Flyers I like, and I like them for specific reasons, and just Flyers are going to be mixed in as well. Isaac Grando for the Niners. Christian McCaffrey goes out every now and again, has great size of just athleticism. Audric Estime fell to the Broncos. I'm going to have a video on him out soon, so pay attention to that over Sean Payton and how he's glowing over Audric Estime. But he's got some upside still. A grinder between the tackles, has some size. Javonte Williams isn't going to be there forever. You don't sign running backs for the next contract unless they're super cheap or they're super good. I don't know if he's going to be either one of them if he's going to want to test the market. Kamani Vital. Vital has a market. His market is glowing right now. On Twitter, everybody's talking him up. They like that he's on the Chargers. They think this is a grand situation. So if he pops, you need to test the market. I'm not saying sell. You need to test the market. You need to kick the tires, see what comes back at you, because it might be a lot more than what you paid in your rookie draft. And you might catch a good return on the investment. You might catch a first rounder coming back at you. If everybody's talking true like they're saying on Twitter, you might catch a first back at you if he starts 3 games. That might happen because the buzz will erupt. He is a player that people are talking up heavy. I would pick him up in a league, 3rd round, 4th round, just because of that, and hope it can ring true. I like Isaiah Davis. There's just too much there. Breece Hall's not giving anything up. Just a flyer. Chase McClellan behind Bijan Robinson. No, just a flyer right now. Tyrone Tracy, there's opportunity there, so he's kind of a flyer I like, but I'm not super in love with. Rasheen Ali, like the profile for a flyer, not super in the Ravens' backfield. Henry's there. He's going to get all the touches. You got to wait for him to break down. I'm going to keep him there as just a flyer. Keelan Robinson, round 5. Tank Bigsby not being good. If you hate Tank Bigsby, then you may be looking at Robinson. Is he a flyer I'm really going after? Not really. So I guess he's just a flyer. Jamar Jordan. We got Joe Mixon there. Joe Mixon's going to hold it down. Not really into the profile too much. Just a flyer. Frank Gore, UDFA. I'm into Frank Gore a little bit. I like him as a prospect. I like the Bills' backfield a little bit. I think the odds are stacked against them. Really depends on how deep your draft is. Really depends if you're picking them up as a free agent. We're also picking guys up as free agents in leagues, and your league's deep enough to pick up some free agents. Maybe. You're just watching during training camp. Elijah Collins. Feels like he's been in college forever. With the Bengals now. That backfield's something to watch. It's just Collins' profile's not too grand. Blake Washington to the Broncos. They picked up Audric Estime. And Javonte Williams has an injury history. Again, as a free agent to add to your roster, pretty much any guy could be that way. But you're paying attention. Now we're looking at Amani Bailey to the Chiefs. I like him a lot. I think he's got a lot of upside for a UDFA. Spelled his name wrong. Wrote a different name there. But it's still him. He is going here. One of my favorite flyers in drafts. If I got 5 rounds, 6 rounds, looking at him as the UDFA, that is a player I am looking at. Carson Steele to the Chiefs. I don't like the profile too much, so just a flyer. Kendall Milton to the Eagles. If you're looking for UDFAs in your league, if you're looking for a guy just to pick up, just to see what happens, sure, look at him, see what happens with him. And then I'm moving Tyrone Tracy kind of down to here. Dylan Johnson, his ability to catch passes out of the backfield. We got a very interesting group of running backs in front of him with Tajay Spears and company and Tony Pollard. He's a guy to pay attention to. If you're looking for a UDFA to pick up or a guy to draft with one of your last picks, possibly, depending on how deep your draft is. Some drafts can go up to 6 to 10 rounds or even larger, depending on what type of league you're in. But that's why we're going a little bit deeper at the running back position, going after flyers I like. And if you need to look at the edge here, here it is with Dylan Johnson, Tyrone Tracy, and Carson Steele. And then again, the top guys, first rounders, upside guys are a little bit different. Blake Corum I have above Jalen Wright, but not too much. And then Marshawn Lloyd I have behind him. But again, this tier tells us with these assets, we're gauging them with the wide receivers in that range. In those range, ahead of them, you're drafting the wide receivers you like. Behind them, the wide receivers you don't like. Same with Jalen Wright, same with Marshawn Lloyd. And those guys are markers in the first and second round. Especially Blake Corum, you can go early second round as well. Seeing that in a lot of drafts. Also seeing Blake Corum go late first round, making him a dichotomy for those wide receivers. Jalen Wright's a huge dichotomy as well. For those wide receivers getting draft capital or those lesser drafted wide receivers who have good profiles, and you make your stance with those running backs, those are the running backs that we're ranking today. We have 25 running backs on the board. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Make sure to hit that subscribe button on the way out. I want to thank you for watching. Catch you on the next video.